Hello everyone, I'm John C. Tyler McCrone,
I'm Brandon Diaz.
and welcome to a very special E3 episode of Birds of Play. Welcome back everybody to a very special Birds of Play episode. Brandon Diaz, we're going to be talking about E3 today.
Yes.
The Electronic Expo. It's going to be 3 full days of gaming news. Very, very excited.
Yeah, and it even began yesterday.
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
on
with
Sunday.
the
The Bethesda conference.
Bethesda and EA conference. Those were both yesterday, and it was a doozy.
Very, very excited. We're going to talk about that a little bit later because for the first half of the show, I want to just talk about general gaming, console, whatever, predictions, wants that we have. You know, we want to see a particular game. I want to talk about all of that before we talk about the actual Bethesda and EA conferences that we're going to have going down. So just kind of going down, we have a big list here, people, of all the games we want to be reading. I'm just going to kind of jump around, you know. Just the first thing that I'm very excited to see is Battlefield 1.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
The trailer came out some weeks ago.
A couple of weeks ago, yeah.
I'm not confident in however long it came ago. But besides that, I'm very excited to see. I want to see more gameplay, honestly.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen any gameplay yet, have we?
Well, it's just been the one trailer that I guess you can call that gameplay, but it was more cinematic than anything.
There was another trailer released recently that had that showed the weapons that they'll be using in the game. But besides that, I don't think we've actually seen actual
solid
footage.
Concrete gameplay.
Yeah.
Which I'm really interested to see how they work that in because the World War I theater had a lot of strange weapon designs that are going to be implemented, strange vehicle designs that were implemented and didn't work. I'm excited to see the land ship, blimp combat, gentlemanly air biplane shooting a pistol warfare.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see a lot of that. Do you think have they already announced when the game's going to be coming out, a release date for it?
October 21st.
October 21st? October 21st, it is confirmed. Thank you, Zoe, in the control room for helping us out with that. But I mean, do you think we're going to get, because I know EA is big on, especially nowadays, having DLC content.
Oh yeah.
A
with
lot
their
of DLC
season
content.
passes, their buy part of a game, get the rest of it later.
Do you think that they're going to be showing DLC for Battlefield 1, saying hey, it's we're teasing at? Because companies have done that in the past before.
Very much so. I don't know. I want to say no, but I'm expecting them to do it.
I hope not.
Hopefully we'll see gameplay, and then they'll be also get day one DLC.
I mean, if that's the only thing that studio has going on, sure. But I don't know if that really warrants an E3 update. The best thing you can do with that is just saying, okay, here's the game, and just here's the DLC that we could just release as a trailer at any time, but for some reason we're wasting time at E3 showing it off.
If you're CD Projekt Red and you're actually just making another game for your game, I could understand that, but I don't think any of these companies are like that.
I love how CD Projekt Red, because they're doing, what is it, Gwent?
Gwent, yeah. They just...
Witcher 3 card game.
Yeah, the Witcher 3 card game.
Everybody loved it.
I think people are expecting them to bring that to E3. That's what they're announcing in place of any Cyberpunk 2077
in
announcements.
place of any real games where we have for you a card game. I just love it because this is easily a product that could have been just DLC for Witcher 3, but it's no, it's going to be a standalone game.
Well, there's been many card games that have come out already, like Hearthstone and Magic the Gathering.
But I mean, unless they expand the Gwent system that was present in Witcher 3, it's gonna, because Hearthstone's way bigger than Witcher 3, rather than Gwent. Level of cards and heroes and power-ups and all that. So they're gonna have to just completely overhaul the whole way it works. Because also,
I don't know if they'll need to completely overhaul it. They'll need to expand on it.
But I mean, CD Projekt Red, they've done a lot of good stuff in the past. So I think they'll work into getting it worked out.
They gotta stay true to what Gwent was in the game, or else nobody will really like it. Because that's why people wanted it as an actual game, because they're wow, this card game is awesome. If they release Gwent and it's nothing like the card game in Witcher 3, people will just be what in the hell? Why did you even release this?
Why even bother making the games? Why even bothers? Kind of in that same vein of why even bothers making the games, there's one game that I know you enjoy because you told me you enjoyed it. I'm not going to enjoy it. Tacoma. The follow-up to Gone Home.
Well, it's not really a follow-up because it takes place in space.
Wait, what?
I'm pretty sure it takes place on a space station.
Right.
And you're exploring to see where everybody is gone.
Right.
It's kind of it's in the same vein as Gone Home,
where you're still just walking around and finding logs.
You're finding uncovering more of the story as you play the game.
Moving on to a game that I'm more excited for because I love the combats. For Honor.
For Honor, yes.
The how many is it, like 3 versus 3 or 6 versus 6?
I think it is a like a teams of 3 game.
Teams of 3, but it's like basically capture the hill, like hold the point. But the main part about it is you have a enormous and really well thought out combat system, like melee combat system.
You have your little like minions that you order around because you're like commanders on the battlefield, but then you go and fight the other players, which are the commanders for the opposing team.
It can be like a samurai, a knight, and a Viking.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for that. Have we? Because what they released or they announced last year?
I think it was 2 years ago.
2 years ago, E3. Have we
last
seen
year, 2 years.
Anything else from For Honor?
A couple trailers here and there, but nothing substantial.
Nothing too big. Not really. Was it leaked or teased? Dead Rising 4. That's what I'm talking about.
Dead Rising 4. I think there was like a poster.
The sequel, or maybe like not even the sequel to Dead Rising 3, because
no, it looks like it's gonna take place back where Dead Rising 1 took place in Wilmette, Colorado, back with Frank, the photographer. Yeah.
I only saw like a couple of the posters and everything. There's not much news about it right now.
Not at the moment.
I mean, like, if it's going to be announced, it's going to be announced at E3, because that's a huge franchise that everybody loves. Speaking of machetes to my face, Gears 4 coming out, E3 on the day, tomorrow, Tuesday. It's coming. It's not. It's not coming out, folks. But now, is it going to be like what do you think we're going to hear about Gears 4 at E3?
Probably more gameplay trailers, more stuff about what the story is going to be about. Because as of right now, we know one of the main protagonists is Marcus Phoenix's son.
It's the kids. It's basically
kids,
like Mortal Kombat X. It's the kids show.
Kate Diaz, my long lost cousin, that's also in Gears.
Miss Diaz.
Miss Diaz.
Miss Diaz plays. I will gladly let you play as her every single time.
If I had an Xbox One, I'd be all over it.
And I will gladly play as the Macho Man hero, Marcus Phoenix's son, Randy Savage. Anyway, like I haven't seen a lot about this game, but I mean it's Gears, right?
Yeah.
Like it's classic. It's gonna be
classic Gears.
Classic gore, classic stabbing bug people in the face.
Cool new weapons and stuff.
Cool new weapons. Giant worm at some point that you go inside of.
Probably.
A man named Dusty.
We'll get another Carmine killed. Maybe we'll see more Carmines.
I heard this game is just all Carmines, and the game ends with just everyone dying. The whole cast is Carmines, even the Locusts.
I'm about
Carmines.
it. Everybody has a helmet. Everybody dies.
Well, he survived in 3, didn't he? The third brother survived.
Not Benjamin. Anthony.
Carmine.
Anthony was the first one. Whoever the last guy was.
Clayton
Carmine.
He survived.
He was the grub killer. I remember.
Clay Carmine. He made it. So I mean, maybe we'll maybe this one, the hero will be Carmine.
That would be a huge twist.
The streets will be lined with Carmine statues.
Like Marcus Phoenix's son dies, and then Carmine's like, "This is for his
the mantle. You play. That's the first mission of the game. Is Marcus Phoenix's son dies, and Carmine picks up his helmet and says, "I'm the hero now." And you play the game as Carmine.
I will buy an Xbox One for that.
I would buy 3 Xbox Ones for that. Have 3 different campaigns, just going all at once. Because I love Carmine. He's such a good guy.
It's the helmet.
It's the helmet, man.
It's very charismatic.
He gets snapped in the first one, he gets wormed in the second one, and he survives in the third one. Speaking of games that have RPGs in them,
man, this is getting worse.
Call of Duty Infinity Warfare. Boo. That's as much as I'll say. It's just one big boo.
I guess if we're talking about Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, it doesn't really deserve a great transition. No. I feel like any reason somebody has to be excited about this is for the Modern Warfare Remastered.
Modern Warfare Remastered.
Because that's the only reason anybody should buy this game. I'm probably going to buy this game just for Modern Warfare Remastered.
I want to, and this is fully of me, but I want to wait until the community at large forces them to say, can you separate
That'll
it,
be years
It'll be so down the line. Do you think that 4 Remastered will be like a whole separate game that like you download or have a separate CD for? Or do you think it'll be an option in the main game?
I think it'll have a separate like download, separate CD if they go down that route.
Because the reason I say that is because if that's the case, then that tells me, okay, at some point they're gonna separate it. Because why else would they do that? You know, if they just put it all on one disc.
I don't know how much they're going to remaster.
Right.
Like if it's just gonna be multiplayer, if they remastered the entire campaign, of how many maps.
Because Zombies is remastered, right? Too, is it?
Zombies?
Yeah.
From what?
Oh no, Zombies was in World at War. That's right.
World at War, yeah.
Oh man, I'm looking. I'm a big.
Where
old
have you
phony.
been?
I'm a phony up here.
You're fake. Did you even play Modern Warfare 1?
I totally own a game box. Definitely, 100%. Oh
He's
jeez.
a fake. We have a poser up here, guys.
Trying to detract from that so I actually look like a gamer. A game I'm very excited for, Halo Wars 2. A game that nobody played. Halo Wars 1.
So many played that.
So many played that. Nobody.
So many people we know.
So many people we know. My friends played it. Therefore, I deserve a second one. Apparently, enough people played it though.
Yeah.
Because it's getting a second one. Looks. I mean, we've only seen the
cinematic trailer, yeah.
But as the cinematic trailer goes, it's pretty Halo. Looks pretty good.
Cool. Looks like your classic guy being dragged down a hallway shooting
at a
very
brute.
Inaccurately.
They're always shooting the brutes, and it's like, don't even bother, man. Every single trailer, he always misses.
Might as well be shooting at the ground.
It's just, well, I got a hammer, smash. Yeah. You're basically Reinhardt. But
bring it back to Overwatch.
Bring it back to Overwatch every single show, everybody. But Halo Wars 2, what do you want to see from it?
More of the same.
More of the same?
Because it was great. Maybe better graphics. It could be a Halo Wars remastered, and I'd be like, fucking cool.
But I mean, because we don't obviously know where it fits into the Halo universe. Halo Wars 1 was...
It was before any of the
it was the first
events of
invasions.
Halo 1.
It was the first couple of Covenant invasions that were going down, and you were dealing with them. So is this one going to be a couple more of those battles, or like maybe after?
Maybe it takes place like after Halo 3.
Like after Halo 3, like after Master Chief does his thing, like this is a like brute rebellion that's going on, like you kind of quell them or something like that. Because like the brute that we only see a very short time of him in the trailer. He looks pretty like tribal, I would say. Like he has kind of like war paint on, because the brutes are very like their mystique is they're very tribal. But like in 3, they wore like golden armor and all that fancy jazz. But in this one, he looks very much like kind of back to the brute roots.
There's like no armor.
No armor,
about him.
like white face, just a hammer, no gun, no grenades or anything like that. So it's kind of interesting, like to see what a brute.
Maybe this is going to be a prequel to Halo 1 or Halo Wars 1.
Halo Wars 1, Mafia 3, set in maybe the new Red Dead universe. What are they calling New Orleans? Like La Bono or something?
I have honestly no clue. I just called it New Orleans because it looks like New Orleans.
Can we get some confirmation on whatever the Mafia 3 New Orleans is called? New Bordeaux.
New Bordeaux.
Thank you, Zoe in the control room, for your fabulous searching ability. Not sponsored by Google. Can't say that. But Mafia 3, Mafia 2. The only thing I know about Mafia 2 is that it broke like the swearing record, because they said.
Did it really?
It said it had the most swears. Like I think. Either in the entire script or like per minute. Like it had the most swears.
I don't know which was more impressive, per minute.
Than any other game. Do you think they're gonna come out in E3 and said, we have a very big announcement. We're gonna top that record.
We're gonna up the swearing.
That's the only thing they say
More
about
swears
Mafia 3.
per minute.
More swears per minute. More vulgar swears. We're getting into racial slurs. Anything you guys want. Why is this succeeding?
Every other word is a swear, guys.
Every other word is a swear.
We're doing it better. This is for the fans.
I mean, I'm kind of excited for Mafia 3. I played a little bit of Mafia 2, and when I played, it was pretty fun. I mean, I like being a mafioso. It's an interesting universe, you know.
Yeah.
I think it'll be good. That's the best thing I think about it.
Could be interesting.
I think it'll be good. Not much to say about it because, I mean, you know, it's just kind of a game that's coming out. There's not much info about it. We know it's going to be a new Bordeaux. We know it's going to be the mafioso lifestyle and all that. There's not much coming out. Hopefully we see
a guy coming back from war, I think.
Guy coming back from
soldier.
war. Hopefully we see gameplay. I always like gameplay at E3. I don't like cinematic trailers at E3 because just save that for another time.
I mean, it looks cool.
It looks cool. I just want gameplay. For all of these games, I want gameplay.
That's fair enough. I can
like,
understand
for instance,
sentiment.
I want to see Injustice 2 gameplay.
Injustice 2.
I want to see Injustice 2 gameplay.
You're excited about that, aren't you? You've been talking about it.
We've been talking about it a little bit. We recently, folks, watched the entirety of
all the cutscenes.
Injustice 1 cutscenes, which we found is a 2-hour-long movie.
Just
it
about.
did not deserve 2 hours of cutscenes. I mean, I'm really interested to see where they go with it because, I mean, Injustice 1, it was just a fighting game, so you know, fighting game stuff. Because Mortal Kombat X and 10 really, like, they did, I don't know if I want to say a lot with it, but they kind of changed the system a little bit. They made it a really, really fun fighting game. Like, they had a lot of characters, a lot of different movesets, a lot of, like, brutalities and fatalities
the
and all
different
that.
type fighting styles depending on which one you chose.
They added a lot of new characters, like new mechanics and new, like, the stage like abilities. That was from Mortal Kombat 9, right? They introduced that? The stage abilities? I think they did. But they overhauled it a little bit. I really hope that they do something really special for Injustice 2. Like something.
I mean, we saw like the evolving armors.
The evolving armors.
In the trailer.
Everyone's Iron Man now.
What I've seen, I think NetherRealm released it on like a blog post after the trailer came out, that the armors, you'll be able to customize them and customize your fighting style based on what you're wearing, customize what the heroes look like and stuff.
Oh, that's cool. So you're saying like they didn't say if the armor is gonna be like kind of like on or off like during the fight. It's just you can customize the armor.
Yeah, like you can have different pieces on and whatnot.
That's an interesting to say. That kind of makes me think more that's gonna be just you have the Flash and the whole fight he just has armor. That's kind of what it makes me think of, because I guess honestly it's one of those situations where if you like soup up your armor, why wouldn't you just be armored the whole time?
Because it's not like it'll give you more health. It's just a different fighting style.
Different fighting style and stuff like
different
that.
Different moves, maybe.
I mean, maybe it could be, because I would want it to be transitionary, because that's pretty cool, I think. Like him being able to like just be regular and like kind of go faster than like armor up and do a wall punch.
A wall punch?
A wall punch like in Deus Ex Mankind Divided. Was that good, folks? It wasn't. Anyway, Deus Ex Mankind Divided, we're on it now. I'm not going back to Injustice. I did the transition. We're pushing forward. I am extremely, extremely excited for this game. It looks, well, we haven't seen much gameplay, but
the trailers have been incredible.
Was it like technical apartheid or something? Was it mechanical apartheid?
Something apartheid. Something to do with like the fact that they're not full flesh.
They're not full human. So like that was such a good trailer.
It was
live action.
Yeah, live action.
It was so good.
It looked pretty impressive.
I'm super excited because I mean I love Adam Jensen. He's Robo Batman.
I didn't ask for this.
It's the best. I'm really excited to see kind of how it plays it. One thing that I'm excited to see is how they implement, if at all, the different endings of Deus Ex Human Revolution.
They were different. I never got to the ending of that game. I restarted so many times.
There were a couple different endings, and it's kind of like some of the endings you kind of have to ask like, oh wow, a sequel will not come from this ending. Mm-hmm. Like it just won't. So I think what they're probably gonna do is just kind of like, this was the canon one. Mm-hmm. If you got a different one, sorry, but this is the
one that
the
sticks.
Correct one. This is the one that sticks. Because I'm really excited to see how the Jensen character kind of evolves in this new. Because at the end of Human Revolution, you have some like human rights that are against the augmentations, stuff like that.
The Augs.
The Augs. I'm really because in this world, it seems like the majority of people are against Augs now.
Yeah,
and it's
that's
kind of
what it looks
like you have to like join like the Aug Defense Force, whatever it's going to be called. And I'm really excited to see how the Jensen character plays into that, because in the first one he did not care about anything really except his own safety to save Megan, his wife, ex-girlfriend, whatever that relationship was. She
significant other.
She gave his dog away, so I didn't like her. I didn't want to save her. There was an email where it's like, oh, sorry, Jensen, I had to give away your dog while you were in the hospital. Sorry. That's a rough message to hear. But I mean, I'm super excited for it. I love like the Neo Renaissance clothing. I'm excited to see that come back.
Yeah, it's very cool.
I'm excited to see arm blades make a comeback.
New different fighting styles, weapons, new Augs.
I'm excited to see the wall punching. I love the wall punching.
The active armor that just kind of appears on him.
The invisibility, Icarus landing system where you basically have a parachute at all times.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
I want a parachute at all times.
Speaking of cool tech, though, Watch Dogs 2 was announced, guys.
Brandon Diaz transition. What? Watch Dogs 2. I don't like Watch Dogs 1.
Yeah, I feel like that's a pretty general consensus.
I feel pretty burned. Most people. I feel pretty burned because I always have the rule where don't trust anything at E3 because it's probably a lie. Like cinematic trailer wise, the great big liar.
Even gameplay trailers.
Even gameplay trailers are probably not true.
This is Ubisoft.
It is Ubisoft. They have
a knack for
a very stark
people.
record of saying, here's a cinematic trailer, here's a gameplay trailer. Oh, that's not at all what it is ever. So, I mean, Watch Dogs 2, I just don't know. I don't know if I can trust it. Because, I mean, I played the first one a little bit. Actually, I played it like about halfway through and then I just gave up because I couldn't deal with it anymore. Like, it was fun, but it felt pretty unpolished. Like, the driving was kind of wanky.
They definitely dumbed it down a lot
They
to
dumbed
get
it
it
down a
onto
lot.
consoles.
The hacking was a cool idea, but they didn't implement it, like, too well. I hope they do hacking a lot in this one. Like a lot.
It looks like it's going to be very hack-centric.
They advertised it as a hacking game. So you think there'd be a lot of hacking in it.
I mean, this one, you're like a member of DedSec, like a hacking group that's taking over to get like human rights, whatever they're fighting for.
Yeah, whatever liberal agenda they're trying to push. Because in the first game, like the hacking amounted to just pressing E and then you hack it, if I remember right. And then like there were some games where there was like a little mini game with it. Do you think they should go full just pressing E or full mini game? Because I kind of want to see full mini game.
I don't know. I don't think they should go full either way because you don't want too much of the mini game because it'll just get tedious and you'll be tired of it. Like
that is true. Like there are times like where
very
you're driving
early
and like you hack a light, like you have like a traffic light. That'd be kind of annoying. Like you gotta play an iPhone game.
You gotta go
while
back
you're
into
driving.
the mini
Like,
game.
oh, I already passed it. It's already over.
But you don't. You still want to have that mini game there just for the people that want it, and you don't want it to just be like a passive action, like oh you're driving by, you press the button and it's done.
Maybe it'll be an option in the main menu. Like, do you want mini games?
I don't think so.
That'd be really interesting because you could just blow through the game. The speedrunners would love that. Speaking of people that break the law, Mr. Brandon Diaz, there is a sea of thieves coming at us.
Oh God!
There's a whole sea of thieves.
A sea of them, an entire sea.
This is a game that I saw as a young boy at last year's E3.
Well, first of all, what is this game? What even is it?
Nobody really knows. It looks like a pirate adventure game where you also
I remember what you're talking
fight like other people online in like ship combat, but you also go inland to fight AI skeleton warriors when you're getting treasure. Skeleton warriors. Nobody really knows what this game is because they kind of showed it at E3 and then said, there it is. It was in the trailer for Xbox One games coming out, and everyone's kind of like, wait, what about that one? Like, no, moving on. We got to talk about 805. So it's like, nobody really knows what it is, but I'm super excited for it.
It looks interesting.
It looks like there's so much to do because I love pirates.
Yeah, I remember seeing the
trailer. It looks
trailer.
like there's so much to do. There was a guy walking a plank, going to sharks. There were skeleton warriors, obviously. Because from what we've seen, the combat looks kind of like, open. There's obviously ship combat, which is, it looks all reactive. It doesn't look like you press a set of buttons. It's not playing down. It looks very reactive, which I love those type of games. I'm very, very, very excited for it. Hopefully we hear more about it. I mean, like, we haven't really seen anything. So I'd be very...
Besides that one, 2-minute trailer last year.
One 2-minute trailer. And it's it's a Microsoft Studios game. So it's like, it's a pretty big thing if they don't bring it up again. Like, unless they bring it up in another
It looks like it'll be an
trailer.
Xbox One exclusive, though.
Xbox One, Microsoft Windows, I think, is what it is.
I hope so. It looks cool.
Now, I don't know if that's going to be like, you can just stream it to your Windows through an Xbox One, or is it actually going to be in the Microsoft Store on the Windows? That's still kind of, we got to see about that. I mean, there's obviously no release date on it because nobody knows anything about it. I think it'll look good. That's the best. That's probably the best I can say.
Yeah,
about
I think
it.
that's the best anybody
I think
can
it'll
say
look
about
good.
it.
Hand of Fate 2. It's a game. I played Hand of Fate 1.
Never even touched it.
Most people have not heard of it. It's a pretty small game. Basically, it's just, it's a card game where you're basically a little guy on a board and you jump between different cards. And you'll land on one card and say, oh, a monster card. And then your character will go into that card and fight those monsters and you get treasure from it. It's kind of like a choose your own adventure game a little bit. Like you select a path to go and then
Sounds like it.
Then depending on what cards you land on, you get either an item or a buff, or you fight enemies or a mission, you go on a mission or something like that. I didn't it's from a pretty small studio. So I don't know if this is probably a third day thing. They kind of just if they have anything to announce about it, they're just gonna announce a release date or probably there probably won't be a gameplay trailer for anything because once again it's a small game. I like seeing the small games at E3.
You think it'll play a lot like the first one?
I can't imagine they deviate that much.
Just a new story, maybe?
Because, it's already a very unique gameplay style. That's what drew me to it. So if they did change it drastically, it would have to be just as unique, which I think would be pretty difficult. But, honestly, the first one was pretty good and open-ended.
Was there, a story to it?
There was kind of a story. Basically, you just had to collect, this guy's treasure. I think it was a guy who sounded kind of like J.K. Simmons. I don't know. There wasn't really much of a story to it. It was kind of it was like Dark Souls-esque where you kind of create your own story for your character and everything. So maybe in this one they get introduced more of a story to it, but I'm honestly not expecting much from it, I hope I see more of the same because it's a really fun game. I really like it. And
I hope for you.
Speaking of a game from, it's not really a small studio, but it's kind of a smaller game. It's not on everybody's radar. It's something that I am, probably of all this list, I am the most excited for. It's my number one pick of E3. Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord.
Bannerlord.
Did you ever play Mountain Blade 1?
I think I played a little bit of Warband. I have maybe like an hour or two.
Basically, for people who don't know what it is you are a little man on this giant map of fake Europe, and you just go around the map, and there are different groups of enemies or heroes that just kind of wander by, and you go through. You can go to different cities, and you recruit warriors, and you can siege a city and take it, and then that can be like your economy, and like you can do like democracy and politics from it. But the main cool thing about it is like when you have a group of enemy on the map and you run into another group of enemy and you attack them, it doesn't like just say, oh, like you have this chance of winning and then it calculates it. You actually go onto a battlefield and you command like you can command like to 200 troops all into a big battle and you just fight as a big battle. And
you
have,
fight in it?
You fight in the battle.
Like, is it like, oh, so it's not like Total War where you
no,
just go
like,
at them?
Like it's like Total War, but if you're in the unit. Like you're the general in the unit. It's very cool. It can be very confusing because obviously if there's like 400 people in the field, you're not gonna know what's going on. You just tell everybody to charge.
You just kind of go.
But there are like,
for the best.
it's very cool because it's a strange way of like implementing tactic because you actually have to think like, oh, I gotta put my archers here, and if I put my infantry here, I can like flank with my cavalry. So you start thinking like a medieval tactician a little bit, and it's a really weird game to play for a long time because then you go to other games and it's not like any other games because the control scheme is just so convoluted and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like it totally throws you off. But when you do play it, you get completely immersed into it. And from what I've seen
Sounds very involved.
from the stuff in Bannerlord, this looks like Mountain Blade 1, but just completely overhauled. Like adding in
Like
weapon
better
crafting,
than it was before.
better than it was before. Adding in like new things for sieges, new like city management, stuff like that. And one thing that's really cool about the first one is it had a huge mod community. And this, I love when games do this. I think like Fallout did this and like the Skyrim did this, where they said, okay, here are some mods that were pretty popular in the previous game. We like them so much, we're going to implement those features into the next game.
Ooh, that's cool. I love it when studios
That's
do
what
that.
Bannerlord's doing. They said, here are some big mods that we found that were really helpful and we liked a lot. We're going to implement them into the next game.
Hopefully they credit the mod makers.
Credit the mod makers. And obviously there's going to be like, a huge mod community in this one.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really cool. I'm really excited for it. A game that is sort of like basically like it, that you like a lot, is Kingdom Come: Deliverance.
Yes.
That's like I saw that it's medieval combat basically.
Yeah,
right?
If I had to compare it to Warband, it's like the when you go into the battle with your soldiers, but all the time. You're never in like a screen where you're just sending your units places. You are a knight. From what I've seen from the story, you start out as like a peasant, and your family gets murdered, and you gotta find way to get justice for them. You could either start off as like a diplomat or a knight,
Oh, that's interesting.
or a thief, and you go around building up political favors to get an army.
And you're on the open world the entire time?
Yes.
Okay. And like
The combat looks very complex.
the combat is
crafting.
they
speech.
purported to be like the most historically accurate medieval combat simulator
Looks like it.
of all
I think
time.
they said somewhere around 2,000 animations just for one weapon.
For one weapon. So much time and money for one weapon.
It's gonna be very
That's insane.
in depth.
Do you think like the combat, like I guess the squad combat I'll call it, is gonna be on the same level as Mountain Blade, where you have like a ton of dudes, or is it gonna be like
I have no clue. I don't think they've even shown anything
shown a little
from
bit.
like army combat yet.
right? I mean like, and we've watched a lot about it because I was very interested in it from Warband. From what I've seen, like I would describe it as a super ambitious warband. So I'm a little skeptical about it because I mean, like Warband barely did what it did like well because it's so like there's so many like controls and
It's
stuff.
very
you gotta do.
niche.
And like they didn't even worry about game like graphics for that because it looks terrible. And like this game looks very graphic intensive, so like it's gonna be very weird seeing like unless you have a super powerful PC. Seeing how it works in like maintaining the high level of graphics and then maintaining like the high level of like I guess animation tracking, I'll kind of call it. Cause I mean I assume that it draws a lot of CPU power.
Oh yeah.
Figuring out like the hitboxes and like the what did Last of Us have, like the punch lasers where like it would map out like in front of them where the punch is going, so you could do like different environmental stuff.
Yeah.
Like this game looks like a complete like it triples like that. It triples the amount of
It's
stuff
gonna
it has
be
like that.
very involved. A lot to take in.
Because I mean, we've seen
Very
some games
advanced.
before where if you don't have an extremely powerful PC, like you can barely play it, and that like destroys those games. And they could be extremely.
It looked fairly
fantastic
well
games.
optimized from what I.
It looked pretty well.
what I
I mean,
saw.
that's just the big concern I have, and also it might just be honestly like too ambitious. Then we're gonna have to either cut a lot, or the product they release is just to be like maybe too convoluted to like easily grasp. You know.
I hope it does well.
I hope it does well because I mean it looks fantastic. Like from what I've seen, the combat and the graphics look fantastic. So it's something that I'm not gonna say I'm excited for. I'm gonna say this is my E3 watching out.
Skeptical about.
I'm kind of like I'm in the back. I'll be in the back of the conference, kind of like just peering by the door, like what is this business all about? With my top hat, and I'll kind of just go out, looking at different things. So we talked about a ton of games that we're hoping for and that we want to see at E3. Some things that we don't want to see. There's still a lot more on this list, but I mean we're kind of running out of time.
There's a lot to get through.
We still got the Bethesda and EA conference to talk about.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of which, we're going to talk about those after the break.
After the break, guys.
So we're going to see you in a little bit, talking about the Bethesda. And
Bethesda, yeah.
I'm falling apart. My brain is
You need some
going
time to
be
recuperate.
mush at the end of this. Over the commercial break, I'm going to go to a psychiatrist. I'm going to go to a brain doctor, get an MRI, get this figured out. I'll see you after that, folks. Hopefully I won't be dead. We'll see you in a little bit. He's cool.
You're watching Spinnaker Television.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Birds of Play, now with 100% less glasses and 100% less spinach. I know before the break we said we were going to talk about the EA and Bethesda conferences after the break, but just reviewing those two conferences that happened yesterday and reviewing the conferences and all the content that came out today,
yeah.
we both kind of felt that it wasn't really, I guess, justified just to talk about those two conferences today and then like try to bungle together, the other conferences throughout the week as we go. So what we decided to do is to not have a show after the break today.
Not have like a
Not
short
have
segment.
A short segment after the break, but instead on Wednesday do a whole big show about the conferences specifically, like EA, Bethesda, Microsoft, Sony,
Ubisoft.
Nintendo, all of them. And then on Friday, have sort of a wrap-up show and other speculation.
What E3 got right, what it got wrong.
What it got wrong.
General reactions to the show itself.
General reactions, all that. So please, guys, tune in Wednesday, tune in Friday.
We have a lot of content coming
A lot
up
more
for
content coming out, talking about the content that we got at E3. Please check us out. Spinnaker, or youtube.com/C/.
Yeah, you got it.
Spinnaker TV.
Spinnaker Television.
Spinnaker Television. That's what it is. If you're on campus, campus channel 170, check us out. 7 o'clock Monday, 7 o'clock Wednesday, 7 o'clock Friday, and then we're back on the
regular schedule
of bi-weekly at 7 on Wednesday.
Yep.
So check us out. Have a great day. Have a good E3. We'll see you Wednesday, folks. Bye-bye.